second. Awesome. Yes. We'll try again. Good morning, everyone. Happy Teacher Appreciation Week. We appreciate our amazing educators in and outside of the classroom. Today was a double header. I know some of you were in the Career Ready Friday for Education. Thank you for joining us for careers in hospitality, tourism, and culinary, food and beverage, baking, all of the amazing pathways that are under our consumer hospitality and tourism cluster. Today we have some amazing guests for you from the Franciscan Center, from Sodexo, and we also have amazing video from Wednesday's culinary competition from some of our high school students that competed for the Baltimore City Visit Baltimore culinary competition. So we have a lot in store, and thank you again for being with us, and we'll get right into it. So welcome. If you don't mind, just putting your name and your school in the chat, that would be great. We're testing this out. We wanted to see how many students had a phone on them, right? Because we have a quick poll that we would like you to do. If you do not have a phone on you and you would like to take part in the poll, I'm going to ask you the questions, and teachers, you can get the answers and put it in the chat, or students, you can, put it in the chat yourself too if you're on your own device. But the first question is, have you ever met someone in the culinary or hospitality field before? Have you met a chef? Have you met a food manager? Have you met there's so many careers in this pathway, but have you ever got a chance to meet the person behind who makes your food when you go to a restaurant, when you check into a hotel, when you go to any one of our amazing tourist places like the Science Museum, the Art Museum? Have you ever got to meet the people behind the scenes that make that happen? If you have, put a yes in the chat, or like I said, you could do the poll and we'll get your answer there. And the second question is, are you interested in doing something like that for your career or something, or doing something like that in high school? So if you don't mind putting that in the chat or doing the poll, we really appreciate kind of hearing from you, so that we know what other careers we should bring to you for next school year. Thank you so much for that. And so today we're going to talk about what is the hospitality, tourism, and food and beverage cluster and pathway, where you can find these programs in city schools, what careers you can expect to find within them. Culinary in Action is the video from Wednesday's culinary competition. We're actually going to go to Sodexo first, right? Because hospitality, tourism, and food and beverage is not just in a museum or a hotel or a restaurant. It can also be in an airport, in a hospital. And so we're going to kind of look at all the places where you're going to see hospitality, tourism, and food and beverage. And then we're going to go to the Franciscan Center. And that's kind of our virtual tour for today. And I hope you guys really enjoy it. Next, I'm going to go over to Ms. Fant to talk to us about the careers in this pathway.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning to all of our educators. I do want to say happy Teacher Appreciation Week. You truly are appreciated, and we are excited to be here today. My name is Shanae Fant, and I am a manager in the Office of CTE, which stands for Career Technology and Education. You may also hear it be called Career Readiness. So one of the things you need to know about us and what we do is we are here to serve you. As a manager, I do oversee our consumer services cluster, and in that cluster, we have our baking, our food and beverage, and our hospitality management program. So just to let you know a little bit of background, we may call it food and beverage, but you may call it culinary arts, and we also call it commercial baking. We additionally have a hospitality and tourism management program, sometimes known as lodging management. We have 5 schools in city schools that have culinary programs. They are Carver, Forest Park, Mervo, Edmondson, and NAF. We have 2 schools that have baking programs, which are Edmondson and Mervo, and we have 1 school that has hospitality, which is NAF. If in fact you're interested in the food and beverage industry, if this starts to pique your interest, I want you to understand that city schools is a choice system. That means that you get a chance to apply to whatever school you want to apply to, especially those schools that have programs that you're interested in. When you get into these pathways, you have an opportunity to get different credentials and different certifications. Specifically, you can earn your ServSafe food handlers certificate, as well as your serve safe managers. We're also aligned with ProStar, which means if in fact you matriculate through these programs, you can be ProStar certified. Starting next year, our schools will be aligned with ACF, which stands for the American Culinary Federation. And we also have entered into an amazing partnership with CCAP. If you have never heard of CCAP, it's CAP. CCAP stands for Careers Through Culinary Arts Programs. And this is going to be a partnership with an amazing nonprofit workforce development organization that's going to help link your culinary passion with job skills, with job shadows, internships, apprenticeships, and most importantly, scholarships, because you can go into the culinary field and pursue a culinary arts school to get a degree and further your education as well. Thank you so much, Adenike.
I'm going to see if I can keep you on. These were some of the careers that Ms. Fant shared. Thank you so much for that. And I'm going to have you like kind of set the stage for this video that Ms. Aiken put together from Wednesday's competition.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And I want to give a shout out to Miss Selena, who is behind the scenes for just accompanying me and being a partner in the work as we worked alongside Visit Baltimore to create this amazing opportunity for our students. So this was the second annual opportunity for city schools to align ourselves with Visit Baltimore and many other partners for what they are calling the Baltimore CTE Food, Beverage, and Baking Competition. This competition featured two of our amazing high schools, Forest Park High School and Carver Votech, where they had a head-to-head opportunity to compete. In addition to the competition, it was a day full of experiences for our students. We had students from all 5 schools, Edmondson, Mervo, Forest Park, NAF, as well as Edmondson, I believe. So the day started off with a great presentation from the president and CEO of Visit Baltimore. We also heard from the manager, the manager of the Hyatt. They had tours of the Hyatt as well as the Inner Harbor. We got a chance to look at some of the vessels on the water, got to tour the visitor center. And then we also had, you ready for this? We had a catered lunch, an etiquette lunch, where not only did we have our table set, but we learned how to eat, and it was very delicious. And then we got a chance to hear the winner. So I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but we can start the video right now so you can kind of take a walk into our day.
Baltimore City Public Schools. I'm coming to you live from the Hyatt Regency in the Harbor to celebrate hospitality and tourism, culinary, and baking. Each year, Visit Baltimore, in conjunction with the CTE programs at Baltimore City Public Schools, hosts a culinary competition. This year in the kitchens, we have defending champions Carver going up against Forest Park. Let's go to the kitchens. We just made it to the back of the house where both teams, Carver and Forest Park, are active in the kitchen. Each school has to put up a team of 5 student chefs who have worked with their teaching chefs to come up with a menu, present, and be able to present it to the judges in 90 minutes. Each person has a station and they're responsible for completing the task on their station to bring the dish together. Let's step back and look. In the white chef jackets, you have Team Forest Park, who have gone with a contemporary Baltimore-style chicken dish. And in the black chef coats, Team Carver have decided to go with a more traditional French dish. We are going to take a quick break from our kitchens and head back up to the ballroom to join our guests in the hospitality panel.
And when you are in the industry of hospitality, of serving people, that is one of the best places for you to begin walking in that realm, right? I want to remind you all that this is the time, at this age is when you really start to make the difference. I'm big on believing that you do not necessarily pick your career finds you.
Nutritional value, so there are several things that you had to think about when curating your menus and presenting the dishes. It was very tight. For me, you guys could see us on the video, right? I was tearing that chicken up. It was so good. Like that fried chicken was so good. We could tell like the different techniques that you guys used. It was amazing. It was crispy. It was crunchy. It was very interesting to see the pearls used, so that was technical difficulties in gastronomy, so we were really impressed there. Just thinking through the storyline of it all, telling the true story, like there is, it was a 1-point difference. 4 points, I'm sorry, so very close, tiny bit. So the winner is
Awesome. I don't know, Ms. Fan or Ms. Aiken, if you want to say anything to wrap us up before we go over to Ms. Barr at Sodexo. Okay, well, go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to emphasize, as part of the program in Baltimore City Public Schools, you do a lot of work with work-based learning. All the students have to accumulate hours. So it's not only about what you learn in the classroom, you will be doing hands-on work, you will be in a culinary kitchen at your high school, and there's opportunities for you to go out and not only meet chefs, but to work under chefs to accumulate your hours to make sure you're getting towards your certifications.
Thank you guys so much for that. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing, and I'm going to actually spotlight one of our guest visitors today, which is Chef Barr from Sodexo. Hold on one second. So Chef Barr, we now have you on live. Can you introduce yourself and tell us where we are today? Chef Barr, can you hear me? Okay. Hi.
My name is Chef Michelle Barr. In general, whenever I'm not here at work, I'm often found at the Franciscan Center supporting. You'll meet my counterpart as we move forward. But here at Sodexo, at MedStar Hospitals, I am the System Director for Retail and Marketing. My job is another level of hospitality. I have a culinary degree, I have and a certification as well. However, I'm one of those people that are dual. I can do both operations, and I also understand the culinary aspect of food. So my job is to work with our hospitals under the MedStar umbrella with conjunction and leadership from Sodexo to help provide curated spaces to support the hospital itself. We don't only just feed our patients, we take care of the families that come in, and we also support our community. During this quick walkthrough, we're gonna be at we had Good Samaritan. Georgetown's one of our many locations. But we're going to be at Good Samaritan Hospital. We're going to do a quick walkthrough of their retail space, and then I'll answer plenty of your questions in regards to what we do at Sodexo and why we are a dynamic group to work for.
Thank you.
So here's the entranceway to Good Samaritan. Our food is not only walk up, you can purchase your food online through our Everyday app, which is our entire menu can be found on. So we integrate technology into our everyday cooking. In addition to, we have several stations. So here at Good Samaritan, we have our own pizza station that currently is being set up, along with our own grill, our hot table, which will be coming out today. We're going to be doing seafood. Currently, our teams are setting up and food will be coming out as we have this walkthrough. And then we have a coffee station. We do have a nice, fresh, crisp salad bar, and also including our own grab and go stations. And then we have our own deli station. Miss Danny is over here in the corner this morning, setting us up, getting us finalized. And then we have our own exhibition station. At our exhibition stations, we feature food from all over the world, different concepts. So this station one day could feature Asian bao buns, a ramen bowl, taquerias, quesadillas, anything you can think of. This station channel, it changes into. The goal here is to provide our customers and our families that come down a relief from their day-to-day, and it's something different, a different bite to eat. So this really quickly, just wanted to talk to you about what hospitality means to me as a whole. So the hospitality industry, at one point, people just thought about cooks. This place to go ahead and eat, and that's it. Well, here at Sodexo, we're thinking about nutrition as well, being mindful of the food that we offer. So do we have chicken tenders and French fries and quesadillas? Yeah, but at the same time, we do offer complete grains, vegetables. We also are partnered with something called Food RX. That's actually stationed here in the building. We're doing a food drive to collect donations to support our own community. The food drive and the Food RX program that we have here in partnership with MedStar is geared towards helping our underserved individuals in the Baltimore City community. At this time, we are asking for donations of canned goods. Kind of turn my camera around, I'm sorry. We're asking for donations of canned goods, different non-perishable items, so that way we can support individuals in our area that are unable to go to the market and purchase them. We give it to them for free. So our Food RX program is geared to people with diabetes, high blood pressure, any type of illness that if they had the proper diet, they would be able to cure. Our goal as a whole with Sodexo and MedStar partnership is, one, to nurture and feed our families that come in, and to also be vital partners in our community. I think I gave us a lot. Does anybody have any questions for me at all?
While we wait for some questions, one of the things that we heard in the chef competition, one of the speakers says, "You don't find your career finds you." Do you agree with that statement? And how did this career find you?
So this career found me. I hate to say it, by I guess relationships and partnership, and watching other women move forward in the industry. People that weren't, though I have a chef background, you wouldn't think of retail and marketing. The market is now opening up and allowing for the hard and soft skills, or skills that you acquire to give you the foundations to be able to build nuances of what service is. So for me, organically, it came from working with individuals in my field, partnering in the ACF. I am an ACF member, going to culinary school and continuing to hone my craft, and then networking to meet other chefs or other individuals in the hospitality industry, because it opened doors to be able to know that even though I have a culinary degree, I could do menu planning, I could create apps behind the scenes, I could develop a nutrition program to help other people make health-minded decisions. So the industry itself, for me, organically grew because of the ask. And my ask is, how can I support my community? Because at one point, I was a person that was underserved in Baltimore, and I needed the services. I would have been the person that would pick it up food from the pantry. I would have been that person, more my mom. would have been that person needed it. So all the time for myself, whenever I think about my next step in my career, is how can I serve best? Because the hospitality industry is truly an area of service.
I love that. You like gave me goosebumps. So when we think about our elementary and middle school students that are with us today, what are some classes that are really important to have a strong foundation in the culinary and hospitality field?
So some great classes. Number one is going to be math. You must be able to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. Because when you have 3,000 people, a recipe for 3,000 people, and you have 200, and you have a base recipe for 50, you got to be able to double it or take it up. And then the next part is reading, English, writing, being able to write articulate menus to describe the food that you're going to put on the plate. And then I would say history and sociology, so that way you have an understanding of cultural diversity for everyone that you're going to come in contact with, and then also understanding the foundations of food. When I started out cooking, everything was based off of Augustus Escoffier as the foundation. And then as I learned in my career and started thinking about cultural diversity, is like and looking at diasporous cuisine, which is a cuisine that originated, it's not to be too heavy, but if you think about how food traveled through the trade, and some people would add the slave trade because people brought different items with them in their journey. So not to be tongue in cheek, but just to be transparent, food has transcended through the ports, food has transcended through people. So understanding how food has moved through can allow you to create new dishes with strong base foundations which can also be authentic to that space, rather than just saying, hey, I made a risotto. But what rice did you use to make the risotto? What preparation did you use? So having an understanding of those foundations do help you to be a more well-rounded chef.
What is your favorite dish to make and eat?
That's a good one.
Okay.
Right now, I am very much in love with lion's mane mushrooms and king oyster mushrooms. And so anything that I can do with that, I have been on a very health-minded journey for a while. So being conscientious of beans and what I can do and legumes, and how it's just a lot of layers, I guess. But really my dish right now would be lion's mane mushrooms, anything with lion's mane mushrooms or king oyster mushrooms.
Awesome. From any of our classes, Ms. Penn, Ms. Wyan, Mr. Green, any of your students have any questions for Chef Barr?
Do you ever partner with programs in city schools to visit or do on-site cooking, like healthy cooking lessons? I know we've had like partners in the past, but sometimes they come and go. And then also, is there any partnership that you have with like Great Kids Farms to get like, because I know they hold summer camps. Is there any way for young students to get a glimpse of kind of professional kitchen life or hospitality, the front of house, the business side of it, anything that you're aware of, programs in the city? I know I shared with some of my students about the Baltimore Chef, Source, Chef something, they have cooking classes, but are you aware of any other programs geared towards younger students who want to grow their skill set? Because we have a lot of kids who cook for themselves too. And so being able to understand how to cook, eat simple, healthy meals would be really something good if you're aware of any.
To be transparent, that is an ask. My counterpart, Chef Derek Purcell, definitely could note that we have both asked this question. So at Franciscan Center, I am the first female executive chef board member there. And Chef Purcell and I are partners in that. And that was a conversation we had not long ago. I think that this is an excellent conversation to have. Myself, I have physically gone out and actually done demos at schools prior to this pandemic that has happened. So for myself, it's not something new. And I would definitely be interested in supporting you and being able to do that. I definitely would love to continue this conversation offline and see what we can do to partner, but definitely that is in my wheelhouse. And I definitely can pull some things together to find out more information for you.
Great. And what did you say that the organization?
The DEXO.
So
Sorry, go ahead.
The company you work for. Okay, got it. We're good.
So I
And
have
I'll
many layers: MedStar, Sodexo, and then when I'm not at work and I find an extra minute to blink, I also work with a nonprofit in Baltimore. My love is Franciscan Center in Baltimore.
Which is a great segue to Chef Purcell. Chef Barr, thank you so much for your time today. I know your hall is going to open up in like 3 minutes, so we're going to let you go and do that. But we just want to say thank you for joining Baltimore City students today. Have a great one.
My pleasure. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Chef Purcell, we're now going to turn it over to you.
Awesome.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead. Chef Purcell, do you want to introduce yourself and let us know where we are today, where we're visiting you from?
Yeah, so we're technically visiting me from my office. I'm Chef Derek Purcell. I am the culinary director here at the Franciscan Center in downtown Baltimore. And just as Chef Barr said, we are a nonprofit that's located in the city, and we look forward to serving those that are in the city and beyond. The Franciscan Center has been in existence since the 1800s, and in 1950 it became local help for the community, specifically in the Franciscan Center area. We're located at 101 West 23rd Street in downtown Baltimore. That's on 23rd and Maryland. So we do a host of services. If you need help with evictions, if you need help with medications and glasses, and we also have a free 13-week, or I like to say no cost, 13-week culinary training program, where we prepare you with the culinary skills and a couple of certifications to get you ready to work in the hospitality industry. The Franciscan Center, we use over 700 volunteers a year, and we'd love to have Baltimore City Public Schools come out and volunteer here. We also provide over 200,000 meals a year for people that may need help just eating. We provide warm meals Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. We're serving roughly up to 400 people a day during those meals. And then we also serve those encampments. These are the places where people live in tents throughout the city. We deliver 1 meal a day to those people as well. That's probably about 136 meals going out to those people that are living in encampments throughout our city. We also are partnered with an organization called Little Portion Farm. It's in Howard County. That farm grows exclusively for us here at the Franciscan Center. So we're processing fresh vegetables, we're processing lettuce, our herbs and our onions, garlic, carrots, broccoli, asparagus, things like that. They're coming from our farm. So not just are we feeding people, we're doing a little more than that. We're aligning it with great nutritional values because we're also feeding fresh food to our farm partners. And you asked were there volunteer opportunities. We'd love to be able to figure out how do Baltimore City schools visit the farm? How do they visit the Franciscan Center? And we can also build programming to help with those cooking demos for those that actually want to learn how to cook. And that's what we're doing here at the Franciscan Center, as well as looking to see how we can continually partner with Baltimore City Public Schools because we are in Baltimore City.
And so Chef Purcell, are you originally from Baltimore? Did you go to a Baltimore City Public School?
So yes, I am born and raised in Baltimore. I love our city. The middle school that I went to, since most of your middle schools, was Winston Middle School. I think that closed now. And then I went to Northern High School here in Baltimore City. So yes, I did. I'm a product of Baltimore City Public Schools as well.
And so what was your career path to where you are now?
So in the 12th grade, as some of us think we know more than the teachers, I decided that I did not need to be in school anymore. I left school, I obtained my GED, I worked different jobs, and then I fell in love in the hospitality industry. So wait, before I fell in love with the hospitality industry, I actually worked at University of Maryland in the OR, and I enrolled in nursing school before I fell in love with the hospitality industry. And I did that at Oriole Park. I just wanted a summer job, and I signed up there. I worked for a company that's not at Oriole Park anymore, and they paid for me to get professionally developed at the Culinary Institute of America. That's where I obtained my Pro Chef Level 2 certification, and I progressively grew through that company from chef manager to executive chef to a district level before becoming a director. Just as Chef Barr stated, the industry provides a lot of open door opportunities. And so becoming a director, I had a dual role because I'm always going to be a chef. But as a director, you get to control things. You get to grow the company, and you get to actually control the finances and the growth of an organization. So that was the path that I took prior to becoming a director here at the Franciscan Center.
Awesome. So the next question is, how can students begin preparing now for a career in food and beverage, hospitality, and tourism?
I would say to study, because just as Chef Barr alluded, the industry, you're going to have to read, you're going to have to write, you're going to have to understand math. These also help you in the area of discipline. All great companies need people that are disciplined. They need people that will follow the systems that are put in place for the companies or organizations to be successful. So if I was just to say what you can do now, come up with a goal that you want, but really focus on what you need to do now to complete whatever that requirement is to graduate. And then you want to get under someone that's standing where you want to be at. I really believe in mentorship. I had a great mentor. I mentor people, but mentorship provides you with that knowledge to be able to talk to someone that's in the area that you want to be in so that you can grow through that area as well.
And so one last question before I turn it over is, what is your favorite dish you like to prepare and eat? I don't even know, are you going to show us your kitchen today?
So we open at 10 o'clock, and
Okay.
I traditionally don't like to show our clients
I
they're
totally
coming
understand.
in. We're placed that really enhance the dignity of a person. And sometimes
Absolutely.
when you're coming in for service, I just don't like to put people on camera when they are.
Oh, no,
in the
totally
book of
understand.
seeking services.
So your favorite dish that you like to prepare and eat?
So I love to eat. So I love to, I cook everything. So it's hard to pick a favorite dish. But I can tell you what I'm making today for our culinary students are salmon cakes. And I use fresh salmon. I poach the salmon, I flake it up, and then I create salmon cakes and I sear them. So that's what.
Can you explain poaching? What's poaching? What's the poaching technique?
So the poaching technique is when you provide you put whatever protein or vegetable into a liquid, and you don't cover it all the way, but maybe 3/3 of the way. But I like to put a lot of flavors in there. Garlic. I like to put cilantro in there, and thyme, and basil, and just whatever we can put in that liquid to enhance the flavor. And then you cook that on a slow temperature. And since I'm only poaching it, I'm getting it up to about 115 to 118 degrees. And then I'm cooling it off and flaking it. So basically poaching allows you to get a meat or whatever you're doing ready to finish it. Some people poach Italian sausages before they grill them off. It just helps with the cooking process to make things a little more quicker, as well as provide another level of flavor prior to serving that dish.
And then what is flaking?
So it's basically breaking up that protein And for things like, so when you have a fish, let's say when you have that fish, if you're going to create a codfish cake, or in my case, a salmon cake, you don't want to take that whole piece of fish and just present that. I'm processing it, basically, breaking it down into portions that we're able to scoop it or to process it into whatever the finished dish will be. So these
Thank you
are,
so much for the terminology. Go ahead, sorry.
yeah, these are just some of the terms that you'll learn in the hospitality industry. You can call that, you know, poaching, flaking, braising, searing, grilling, these types of techniques. You'll never, once you've learned it, no one can take that away from you. Whether you're in China or if you're in Texas, those techniques don't change.
We'd even talk about the traveling that you, like, have you got to do a lot of traveling in your career?
So while with Aramark, I traveled quite a bit throughout. I didn't travel abroad, but throughout the country, places like Tampa or Missouri or California. It's a global company, so there's sports and entertainment arenas throughout the country. And so a part of when you become really good, you're put on a team to onboard and train new chefs, or onboard and train new managers. Or if there's a problem in the system, to go and help fix that problem so that the company can remain successful. So yeah, I did a lot of traveling. I met a lot of people. I too am a member of the American Culinary Federation, the Baltimore chapter. There I've been able to network and meet a lot of chefs that will be friends for years. In fact, I used to be the president of the Greater Baltimore chapter of the American Culinary Federation. So it's a great chapter, and it's something I'm glad to hear that I heard you all say that you are moving in that direction. It has a great curriculum, and they have awesome chefs and teachings that you'll be able to use.
Awesome. So I don't know if we have any questions from any of our students that have been so patient with us today. Any questions from you guys that you want to ask Chef Purcell?
Okay, like other types of food? Okay, so we had a question, what other types of food do you teach? Do they make at the center, or do they teach people to make? Okay, so, that both of those questions had make. So do you want to know what they teach at the center that they serve people, or that they teach their students to do? Okay, so we have a question of what other types of food do you said teach? Sorry, I forgot already. Serve, sorry. Do you serve at the center to the people who come and have food and lunch and meals with you?
So every day we have a salad bar. Like I said, we get our lettuce and vegetables from our farm, Little Portions Farm. And then we have proteins and vegetables in a starch. Today, we actually have a taco bar where we have ground turkey and ground beef. We have rice and beans. We broke down avocados to make guacamole. We cut out fresh tomatoes to make pico de gallo, and we're serving them that today. And each day, so we've created cycle menus. And so every 4 weeks, our menu repeats itself. And back in February, we went and sat with our farmer and we planned what produce we'd like to see coming out of the farm. And so our menu reflects the produce that's coming out. So the lettuce that we're serving today, the cilantro that we're serving today, the tomatoes that we're serving today, those things actually came in, the carrots that we used for the mirepoix while we were cooking the proteins. Those things came in yesterday or day before yesterday. They were cut straight from the ground, they brought them in, and we're using them. So that's what we serve today. Yesterday, we served barbecue chicken legs with roasted potatoes, and we had rice. So each day, the menu changes on what we're serving to our guests. So it's really a great meal.
Thank you.
So
And I hate to do this. Our students, they have to go to lunch now. I apologize.
no
But thank
problem.
And thank you for answering that question for us. And you want to give them a thanks? Thank you.
No
Thank
problem.
you.
And we're always looking for volunteers. If you're able to get a work permit, you're able to volunteer here.
Okay, maybe not. In a couple
He's not old enough yet.
Okay.
couple years.
So, I think one last question. So on the farm, is it just vegetables, or do you also have like livestock?
So we don't have livestock at this particular farm. We do use another farm, First Fruits Farm, and then there are other farms, but we don't get our livestock from there. Our proteins from there. We do purchase through major suppliers like Baltimore City Public Schools would use, like Cisco, or JJ McDonald, who's our fish purveyor, places like that for our proteins.
Awesome. Well, I just want to thank you again for being with us today. We totally appreciate the knowledge that you shared. Are there any last words that you want to give to our students as they wrap up this week and are almost into their summer break?
Well, yes, absolutely. First of all, thank you for allowing us the opportunity to speak into your lives. We look forward to the continued partnership with Baltimore City Public Schools. And please stay focused and safe this summer. We look forward to speaking to you sometime or seeing you in the near future.
Thank you so much, Chef Purcell. And thank you guys for being with us today. We're just going to wrap up with some updates about what's coming up next. And I just need to get to that slide. So don't forget the second Friday in June. And if I have my calendar right, that would be June 9th. Will be the next Career Ready Friday, where we will be talking about agriculture. And it's so crazy because both of the chefs talked today about how they get a lot of their produce from farms. And so we're going to probably be at a farm the next time we're together. So please be sure to join us for that. We have a middle school summer career exploration program for students who are going to be in 6th, 7th, or 8th grade next school year. This is going to be a lot of fun. Please check out the City Schools summer programming site to get the link and register. There are going to be field trips, job shadows, college tours, a lot of hands-on fun. So we hope to see you there. And please, teachers, please share that with your school and family communities. And then there's a student and parent event called Let's Get Hyped, where there are going to be so many speakers and performances and a lot of great activities and fun on May 24th at Coppin University from 4 to 8. And just wanted to let you know, in case you haven't had a chance to check out the career readiness site, we have just launched the site that has a lot of career readiness tools, career technical education materials that are at your disposal to bring into your classrooms and your schools. And we hope that you find it valuable. If there's anything that you would like to see on there that you don't see, please let us know so that we can make sure to add it. But I want to say happy Teacher Appreciation Week. We appreciate you every day, not just this week. I want to say thank you for joining us today. Have an amazing Friday. Have an amazing weekend, all of the people on the call today. And we look forward to seeing you at the next Career Ready Friday. Thanks so much and have a great one.
Can you email us that link possibly? Because I can't get it done.
For the middle school?
Yes.
Okay, I'll
Thank
send it to
so
you.
much.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Penn.
You're welcome. Thank you for the
Okay.
invite.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.